All right, hi everybody. On to part 4 of the problem set number 1. In this one, we're going to be back in Google Sheets again. You're going to be completing this and then submitting a link, just like you will for part 2. So again, part 2, 4, and 6 are all going to be done in Google Sheets. You'll submit links to those parts 1, 3, and 5. So the odd number ones are going to go into your Excel sheet or your Excel workbook that you're going to submit. In this one, we are going to be looking at a little bit of a financing problem, wherein we're looking at golf carts to purchase, and we're looking at the sticker price. However, we've got varying interest rates based on the price that we pay for these. They may have maybe special offers on interest that's available. And so we're going to use the payment function. So if you've taken your finance classes yet, this will be very familiar to you. If not, we're going to do a very simple version of this to try to figure out which one is actually going to truly cost us the most, both in monthly payments and in total cost paid. So they're organized from low to high on the price, but we're going to go ahead and start by copying this over and then pasting it into our Google Sheet. So you'll want to go to File, New, and create a new file on Google Sheets. And once again, you can go to from your home page, you can click on the little 9-pointed spot here, Google Apps, and then click on Sheets to go there, or you can go to Drive and then create a new file there. Either one of those will get you to Google Sheets, either the Sheets or Drive. And then once you make that, you'll have the ability to edit the name of it. Go ahead and call this golf cart shop for this one right here. And then we'll go ahead and paste our information into this square here. So what I've got is kind of all these labels for all the rows bleeding into this one. You can't read this full one. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you've dragged over this first column far enough that everything is readable. We'll worry about all the other formatting that we might change here at the end of it. We'll kind of clean it up a little bit. But let's start by taking a look at the payment function. So again, we've got these cells in here. We'll do the formatting later, but we just want to see right off the bat, how much are my monthly payments going to be if I buy this Yamaha golf cart, right? So equals PMT is a payment function. This will return what the payment is, and it's going to prompt us and tell us what rate are we paying, how many periods are we paying it, what's the present value, so what's the price right now. We can also put in the future value of the investment as well, which we don't need to whenever the future value is 0. If you buy a car and you're making payments on it, the future value of that car isn't what you're looking at. You're looking at the future value of the loan. And when you pay back a loan in full, the future value of that loan is 0. So you can usually leave that out of your formula anytime the future value is 0. But let's look at the first thing, and that's the rate. So we're told that the interest rate is right here on this Yamaha. It's 10%. Now the rate is always given at annual rate. 10% annual. It compounds monthly whenever the payments are monthly. This is 48 payments, and so that's going to be 4 years, 12 months a year, 48 payments. Typically, you buy a car, you're looking at 36 payments, 48 payments, 60 payments, 72 payments. Don't ever go over 60 though. Even if you save a little bit of money, the interest will absolutely kill you. But 5 years is the standard on a car payment, as far as I know, and 6 years is just way too much to pay in interest. But 48 would be better if you can afford it. So 10% is the interest, and again, that's the annual rate. Because we're looking at payments monthly, we have to take this annual rate and turn it into a monthly rate. So we're going to click on interest rate, but then we're going to hit divide by 12, the /12, and that's the rate. And you can see, it gives you some examples on rate, the number of payments you made, examples of everything else. So Google Sheets actually has a little bit more description on the formulas whenever you start typing a formula. And if we hit comma, it's going to jump to number of periods. Well, number of periods is 48, so we can click on the 48 right here. And then we can hit comma again because we're on to the next step. Present value, that's the price of it right here. Click on that number. And because there are no future value, I could hit comma 0 for future value, which is fine if you do, but you're also able to skip it whenever the future value is 0. Instead, I'm going to close my parentheses. And you can see with this payment function, you actually get a preview right away in Google of what that payment's going to be. So when I hit enter, it's going to display that payment amount. And then if I want to copy that over to the end, I can copy it. And because everything is referencing cells right above it, it'll copy with me to the right. But the nice thing about doing several lines at once that you're going to copy over is we could just do all of them at one time and then copy all 3 at once, all the way to the other 3 golf carts. So let's go ahead and do that here as well. Total purchase cost, that is going to be the total cost that we're going to pay, which is our monthly payments times the number of periods we pay on. So 157.12 times 48, that's going to tell us the actual price we pay for this vehicle. Now, you might be wondering, why is this a negative number? With finance, you think of money as, is it leaving your pocket or going into your pocket? If you're making payments on something, so you were given $6,200 from the $6,195 from the lender, right? So that has nothing to do with the car. That's the amount of money you were loaned. So that what's your pocket. And now that you have that, yes, you gave that away to the dealership or whoever you bought the vehicle from. But when you're making payments on it, the money is going away from you. So you're always looking at negative numbers, positive numbers. You're not going to just be given money and then given more money every month, unless you get an inheritance or win the lottery. But even the lottery, you paid $1 for the ticket or $2 for the ticket, right? So there's always negative and positive numbers, and it's the direction of the cash flowing. So when we look at the total purchase cost of the vehicle, I could take equals 48 times the 157. And what I would see here is negative 75.41. But in order to not confuse this in any way, we want to be clear what the actual purchase price is going to be. And when we compare this to the price, it might be easier for our audience to see that these are both positive numbers. So how could I turn that into a positive number? Well, one way you can do it, you multiply 2 negatives, you get a positive. So you could multiply by -1 and it would reverse it. But there's a function which is called absolute value. An absolute value of a number is the positive number version of that. So it's a number without positive negative signs. So negative 75.41 and 82 cents as an absolute value would just be 75.41 and 82 cents. And what we can do is, before we do any formula, if we wanted to return the absolute value of a number, we can just write equals ABS and then open our parentheses, and it'll return the absolute value of whatever number we put in there. So when I hit enter, it gives me this number. Now, when I do absolute value, it tried to smartly turn this into a currency amount when I did this first formula. When I do absolute value, it doesn't automatically format for us. So we're just going to change this back to currency by clicking this $sign. So we're going to pay $75.41. You can see here we're paying $7,541 for a $6,195 golf cart. We're paying an extra, what, $1,300 and something. Let's find out exactly what that cost of interest is. So now we're going to take our total purchase cost and subtract the sticker price, and we can see we're paying $1,346.82 just for the ability to borrow money. Quite a bit. So 10% interest is pretty high. So now if I highlight all 3 of these, I can click on this little circle on the bottom, drag it across, and it's going to copy all of these formulas over for me. And if we look at this, because I'm paying 48 months of payment regardless of the interest price, even though these go up in price, you can see I'm getting a better interest rate as I go along. And these monthly payments are actually less because this interest is that high. And so when I look at the total purchase price of the golf cart, we've got $7,541, $74.93, $73.21, and $74.73. So eyeballing it, we can see this club car for $64.95 will actually cost us less money per month and less money total than this Yamaha offer that was $300 less on the sticker price, just because we're getting a better value on interest rate. But let's go ahead and have Google Sheets return that value for us. Which one is the lowest priced golf cart after interest? And so anytime you want the lowest value, you can type equals min and then select a range of cells. So the lowest value in here is 73.21. It's going to try to find the lowest value of the next area. We don't want that. Instead, we want the highest price golf cart, and that value is equals max. So equals max, and the maximum of these prices is right here. And so what I've got is just to show you the equals min equals max formula. And then I'd like to have you then look at the average price of the golf cart before interest. So notice here, after interest, oh, I should have said after interest. I'll update the file for you so you have after interest there. And then the average price golf cart before interest. So for that, we're going to do equals average and then click on the prices beforehand. So on average, we are paying $64.45 is what's advertised, but even the lowest price golf cart after interest is almost what would that be, $900 more than the before interest price. So just a little exercise in showing you how interest adds up pretty quickly, just to how much that escalates. Even at a seemingly low by comparison, 5.5% interest, we're still paying $778 over 4 years to be able to borrow money. That's that. So now we want to look at a little bit of formatting on this. Having these be all the way over here probably might not be as readable as we'd like. We might want to maybe take away the borders on this side of it. I would think, but again, however you think it should be designed, I'm looking for your own personal touch on this. I'm going to do something like this and just put the borders around these here. In fact, I might even take the borders off of the names of the car. And then add them back in here. And then, just to label what's going on, I think right here, I could put a merge cell and say golf cart brands and prices, label what's going on here. And, centering everything, I think looks better on these kind of things. Probably we could put borders around this too. And then, if you even wanted to up here, maybe give your golf pro shop a name, might be a nice touch. I worked in poker for a long time, so I'm going to call it Ace in the Hole, Golf Course, and Pro Shop. So that'll be the name of my golf course and pro shop. If you want to just call it whatever you want, pro shop, use the same name either way. Maybe we'll make this a little bit bigger. This is what I'm looking for, some sort of personal touch on it that shows easy to read to the audience what's going on, nice layout, not just plain numbers, words on a spreadsheet, making it easy to read. Maybe putting these all the way to the right, looks right aligned, those looks better. So whatever you come up with this, I'm interested to see. And as always, let me know if you have questions about this exercise. Thanks. We'll see you in part 5.